can kill me, but you will never destroy me. It takes strength to resist the dark side.
Throughout heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one.
Are you kidding? Why the hell should I wait for you?
I know what it's like to try and rebuild a life. I had a bad day too, once.
If you're having nightmares, then welcome to the club. My name's Subaru Natsuki, and I am the Knight of Amelia.
Right now, all I can give you is just death.
It wasn't for you in particular.
You fought 100 men because it's not in your nature to run away.
If you are feeling disheartened, that you are somehow not enough, set your heart ablaze.
You know what sucks? Like what absolutely, positively sucks every time? Sorry if that sounds a little aggressive. I'm having some issues already because for whatever reason, internet doesn't like me. But yeah, it sucks to try and stream off of Wi-Fi. Which hopefully in the next week or two will be solved and I can do some more of the streaming stuff and actually do like games and all that, Monster Hunter, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, because for my birthday, I ended up buying a PC. Howdy, Muffler Tape. How you doing? But yeah, I mean, it makes it difficult to start these streams out when every one of your clips, like your intro and your timer and all that, are stuttering and not playing on time. It's obnoxious. So tonight, what we're going to be doing is talking about somewhat 2 seasons worth of anime. I watched a lot this summer. Not everything. I missed some stuff like Dungeon People. I didn't check that out, or the Goddess of the Cafe Terrace, or the Goddesses of the Cafe Terrace. I didn't check either of those out. They didn't really catch my interest enough for me to want to try them. However, I did watch just about everything else. And I've been keeping track of it over the summer, and I'm going to go through and sort of review everything briefly and talk about what was good, what was bad, what I did well, and then we're going to move on into summer, or not summer, fall, and talk about some of the upcoming stuff for fall that I'm particularly excited about. So, yeah, let's just roll right into it because there's no... I mean, what I normally start as like my weekly recap is part of the main segment tonight. So, this is how I have ranked everything this season. And I do have a few more like rearrangements and stuff to do because I finished the bulk of everything. There's still some like stray episodes that haven't debuted yet and some series that I never got around to. I'm going to say, Why Does Nobody Remember Me in Another World is going to have to get backlogged. Why? Because I watched the first episode and I did somewhat enjoy it, but I haven't been intrigued enough by it to go back to it and try and check it out, especially compared to everything else that's here. All this stuff that I lost interest in, I actually might move A-Tree into backlogged. I might revisit that, but I do not plan to revisit any of this stuff in the gray zone down at the bottom. And we'll talk about that later. I'm just going to get through some of my movements here, and then we'll go through piece by piece and talk about what these are about and why they might be worth watching. Pseudo Harem has ended. I have not caught up on Quality Assurance in Another World. My dear friend Nokotan has ended. My wife has no emotion. This is another one, Failure Frame, that I have not fully caught up on. I was trying to, but I didn't have the time tonight. There were some other things that I prioritized trying to catch up on. Oh, this should be up here. Okay, so that finishes out that. I Parry Everything is finished. I finally finished No Longer Allowed in Another World. Oh, I love this series, actually. I think I like it more than some of the other ones. It's actually really good. VTuber Legend, I'm actually going to move down. And same with the Magical Girl and the Evil Lieutenant. I'm going to move down, putting I Parry Everything at the best in this category. Otherwise, Elusive Samurai, wrapped that up. Still very good. A little overly dramatic. I think I actually might move it down to here. Because the overly dramatic flair it has does sort of get old. Anyway, Wistoria has been really good so far. I've seen a few theories passed around about some things. It's been very entertaining, but I think this one I am again going to have to move down to very good rather than must watch, because as much as I loved it this season, I do not feel incredibly compelled by it to say like, oh, you got to check this out. This is amazing. Show Shimin getting a season 2, by the way. Very good. Very, very good. Heavily enjoyed that. Finished this one a while back. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Make Ine and Oshinoko have been like neck and neck this entire season, but if I have to give it to one for the top slot this season, it's going to be Make Ine, just barely, because we're talking about consistency and like what I enjoyed the most out of all of them consistently, and what I felt like was the most seamless show, the most unadulterated, the most enjoyable experience of them all. I would say Make Ine is the one that had no issues whatsoever, which is saying something because it's rare for me to not find an issue with an anime. But that being said, we're going to go through each one of these individually and give them a little bit more of a spotlight now that we've sort of reorganized this. Starting all the way at the bottom with Plus-Sized Elf. Yeah, look, like I said about just sort of if I can get my mouse over to my second screen. Like I said, Oshinoko is really good, but I will state what the issues, quote unquote, I had with it when we get up there. So, back to Plus-Size Elf. This show is pretty much my problem with ecchi. Now, I know a lot of people liked it, like ecchi, because it's provocative and like anti-censorship and all of that. Good for you. But when it comes, well, for me, when I talk about a series, when I like look at something and like evaluate whether I'm going to watch it in spite of whatever adult content it's going to have, there are a couple of metrics that I actually want checked off. Primarily, what I want to see when I watch a series that has adult content that shows titties and all of that, I want something other than just titties that makes me want to watch it. And Plus-Size Elf had none of that. Now, it was funny to see that this show triggered both sides of the culture war. It was absolutely freaking hilarious. You had the right talking about how it was like woke invading anime, and you had the left talking about how it was fat shaming and it wasn't body positive. The point is it sucked, even as a comedy. Like you can make the argument that it has some like good points about addiction, but in the very first episode, it was literally just like chick's shirt explodes off of her and exposes her tits because she's too fat. And I wasn't into it. Some people might have been, but honestly, it was like bottom of the barrel kind of stuff. I dropped it after the first episode. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it like a 4, honestly. It's not the worst thing I've ever watched, but it's down there. So, moving up the list, I haven't coughed all day, and as soon as I start streaming, it hits me. So, Bye Bye Earth. I was actually F body positivity, those to not be here by encouraging bad behavior. I can speak from experience, not a fan. Yeah, we can talk about like the negativity of all like the body positivity stuff. It's a movement that's co-opted by the entirely wrong group of people. You want to talk about body positivity? Talk about like victims of like acid attacks or like facial mutilations and stuff like that. People who are like actually like suffer with things like that story about the guy getting kicked out of the restaurant because of his disfigured face. Yeah, that would be the kind of thing that I would support the body positivity movement for. But that's not what it's about. It's about fat people who don't want to lose weight. And before we jump in, no, I'm not like the most healthy person out there. I could stand to lose a substantial amount of weight, honestly. But I'm not out here talking about how like the world should be nicer to me because I'm a big dude, okay? No, I acknowledge the fact that I'm fat and I should lose the weight. I just don't want to. I don't want to enough. Okay, rant aside. This Bye Bye Earth was one that I was actually somewhat excited for because it had an interesting premise. You have a world of like demi-humans, like centaurs and cat people and wolfmen, all that kind of stuff. Cool premise, like magic swords and all that kind of stuff. And the main character is the only human in this world. That sounds like a really good story. But about 5 episodes in, the world building was so out of sync with its pacing that it started to get confusing. The issues I had with it ended up being that they kept throwing around terms like Schwertmusik, what the soulists were, and all of that, and they didn't do a very good job of explaining why things were done that way. And it tried to be something that was like deeply meaningful in all of that, but it ended up not being. It ended up being confusing and feeling like Spring had Metallic Rouge. It ended up feeling like that. Like it wanted to be something that had meaning and purpose behind it, but couldn't clearly convey what it was trying to say. I should bring my screen back up if I'm going to talk about this. I just realized that. So here we are. We have this guy right here. So if I had to rate it, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. It's a difficult watch because none of the meaning gets conveyed well, and I dropped it after 5 episodes. I genuinely lost interest in it. There was a lot there to intrigue me, but none of it was ever fully explained or given a proper reason to keep me invested in watching the show. So next up the list, Suicide Squad Isekai. A show that was another 5 out of 10. Perfectly mid. A lot of people wanted to like gas it up, but the story wasn't there. The Suicide Squad has been played out time and time again. This wasn't particularly a good rendition. I feel like if they had aimed for like a longer show, it might have given Tape Nagatsuki a good amount of room to like do something with all the characters and flesh them out more and do something fun with them. But I felt like it was too meta, it was too self-aware, and the story as a whole just it had no endearing characters. Like, I get it, it's a story about, villains and stuff, but none of them were endearing in any way. And we'll get up the list to series that actually have some endearing villains who have good arcs and stuff. But none of the characters whatsoever were a draw to me. They were all awful. The pacing was off. It felt like it was jumping across a ton of information that it needed. I never finished it. I lost interest in trying to watch it at like episode 6, I think. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. Not terribly invested in finishing this. Again, moving up to moving along, I should say, to raising children in another world, or like My Adventure with Children in another, something like that. Effectively, this guy gets accidentally killed by a god, and he's reincarnated into this fantasy world and is tasked with taking care of these two overpowered twins. Cute premise. I kind of like it. It has some themes and stuff that I find personally endearing, things that I genuinely do like to see in fiction. Because something like this with like Centuria, I've been reading that, has some similar like adoptive parent vibes that I find really like wholesome and endearing. This did not execute well on it, because you have like children beating the crap out of like giant snakes and boars and stuff, which not really a problem, but it's just kind of like power up and power up and power up over and over and over again, without giving me like a proper reason to like fully invest in the characters. It's probably like a 5.5 if I'm being entirely honest, but I wasn't terribly interested in finishing it out after the first couple of episodes. So, yeah. Now this one, 2.5D Seduction, I might draw a lot of flack for the next two here, okay? 2.5D Seduction was just a hornier version of My Dress Up Darling. I feel like the characters were more poorly written. It was much faster paced and wanted to focus mostly on Hey, Readout Productions, how you doing? Good to see you. It basically, yeah, 2.5D Seduction just came across as a hornier version of My Dress Up Darling, which that show's already horny as is, but this one takes like the ecchi to the extreme. And like I said earlier, if you're going to do ecchi, at least give me a good story or something other than boob to make me want to watch it. This did not. Now, it did censor a lot of the ecchi stuff from the manga. I have read the first couple of volumes of this manga, and it is very explicit. Not that I would not recommend it to just anyone. You have to sort of be a fan of that stuff if you're actually going to read this. I did not find the characters as compelling. Like, the main character just came off as like a gigantic pussy, someone who wanted to run from all his problems, and like, I didn't like him. At least with Wakana Gojo in My Dress Up Darling, there were immediately things that I could identify with that made me endeared to him. Like the hesitancy to share the things he's passionate about. Like, I get that. It can be hard to like be open about some of your passions and stuff and like talk about the things that bring you joy. That's kind of how I was in college when I first started watching anime. I was kind of scared to talk about it. This, though, just seems like a pervert main character who sits there gushing over a 2D girl. Interesting that it was a Jump Plus manga. I hope the other Jump Plus do better along the lines of Hell Paradise, etc. I didn't know. Actually, now that you mention it, I think I have seen it on Jump Plus. And then the other thing that I will bring up, I should finish out this series. I didn't feel the attachment to the characters the way I think you should when it comes to a romance manga or an anime. I felt like they were more roughshod than some of the other series that I have read. They were either too eccentric or too unbelievable for me to really find them likable. In all, I felt kind of bored. Now moving on to the next one. The final one that I really lost interest in this season is Love is Indivisible by Twins. And now this one is not a writing quality. Normally I follow one show per season, maybe two. Yeah, that's I kind of made this one of the things I wanted to do on my live streams, is like keep track of all the anime and stuff. And it was a struggle to keep up with a lot of these. Some weeks I only was able to watch one of them. And like I only just this week finally finished out most of this list. So yeah. I get it. But I also think you are a whole lot more productive with the things you want to do than I am. Like I should be working on couldn't look away from the chaos. That was my dear friend. Yeah. I should I have an indie project I should be working on. But I keep getting like distracted and dragging my feet on that. I need to re-edit some chapters and stuff for the first book of that light novel I've been working on for years and years now. But that's another time. Love is Indivisible by Twins. This one I actually thought was pretty well written, but it's too shoujo for me. Too touchy-feely. Too focused on like the drama of the relationship. And very clearly, like the main character loves the other chick. But she won't get together with him because she feels like she cheated her twin sister out of a relationship. And that dynamic just sort of killed the whole vibe for me. It was looking way too messy, way too quickly right off the bat. And I was just like, I can handle a little bit of drama when it comes to relationships and stuff in a story. But this isn't the kind of like funny that I would be able to stomach with it. It's purely for the tension of two girls loving the same guy, and the guy clearly loves the one he's not dating. It wasn't for me. And this one pretty clearly dropped off because almost no one talked about it afterwards or after it showed up. So yeah, that's everything that I've dropped and everything that I thought was bad this season. I don't think these are particularly bad. They're just kind of mid. This one was most definitely a bad anime. I don't care what anyone says. Now moving on to the backlog. This is the category for things that I actually somewhat enjoyed and probably will continue eventually, but just couldn't find the time to get into. I should actually amend my statement about finishing all of these. Everything below the okay segment I have not finished. So yeah. So Atri, kind of an interesting premise. Something that I'm somewhat intrigued by, like the world is flooded over and nobody knows why. And the main character is like doing what he can to try and fix up the island he lives on so that people can inhabit it in spite of, rising sea levels. So he's taking advantage of like hydroelectric power, like using the tides to generate electricity. Like a sort of like rebuilding anime that had some very interesting elements to it. I did somewhat like the character, like Atri herself and the main character were somewhat interesting, but not enough to make me want to watch it right now. After about 4 episodes, I felt like, maybe I'll come back to this. So it was in lost interest, but I feel like for this one, I may eventually go back and check it out and finish it out. So all in all, the issue is I feel like its main character is just a little too down in the dumps for his own good, like stuck on like this cynical sort of path, and there's nothing to counterbalance that. I mean, they try to make Atri this like positive force in his life, and she does sort of like start turning him around. But I feel like it's not quite enough for those first episodes to really get me invested in this. Plus, it's a much more like low-key anime. It's not like some big reveal is going to come out of this. So I would not be surprised if it didn't really go anywhere. Although there is the mystery of the main character's grandma and why she had the android Atri sealed away Ah!
Yeah.
What an unusual surprise. You're here earlier than I expected.
Yeah. I was free tonight. I just had to eat dinner after work. Also, because my mom is watching Attack on Titan right now, Beast Titan just showed up. Season 2, episode 1.
Honestly, I still say the best season of Attack on Titan is season 1. That's the only one that I gave an absolute 10 out of 10 score to.
Yeah, season 2, I didn't realize there's like a lot more to the horror elements of it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, just sort of try to like finish some of this stuff out because tonight we'll get into like some of like the stuff that you'll probably be able to comment on later, but this is me pretty much reviewing my watch list and what was good and what was bad about all this stuff. So since you're here, I'll try and condense it down and keep it short so we can get into talking about
you're good, dude. Do
next season's anime. So with A-Tree, it ended up being boring. Moving on, why does nobody remember me in this world? The first episode got me pretty good. I liked it, but after that, I just struggled to find the motivation to pick it up as compared to a lot of the other stuff I was watching at the time. So I'm putting it on the backlog because I do eventually want to come back to it because there was some cool elements to it. Like this guy now has supposedly the power of this legendary hero who saved the world, but nobody remembers who he is and nobody even remembers that this legendary hero ever exists. They've both been erased from history. So there's that element. We're probably going to see this guy become a hero in his own right and save humanity. Cool premise. Maybe a little too like science fantasy for me to really get into. It kind of feels like a rough sort of start to a series. Dead Demons, Dead Destruction. Again, another one that intrigues me with its premise, but I like you have or like aliens invade Tokyo and the ship gets destroyed and it releases these like things that occupy the air and that will instantly kill people the moment they touch them. Japan is now occupied by the US and China. And because of all the destruction that was brought on by the alien invasion. Yeah, Rolo's actually here. Miracle.
Yeah. Yo,
but
dude,
the first episode,
that ad just got me. It said right next to must watch, you had the Aaron Hernandez documentary and Agatha All Along were like right next to it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Oh wait, that's an ad.
Yeah, when my actual PC arrives in the next 2 weeks, I will definitely get an ad blocker so we don't have to deal with this ever again.
I was literally about to ask you why you had Agatha All Along under must watch in an anime list. I was like, "What the what?"
I thought that should be pretty obvious. You think I would watch a Marvel product? Well, I did just get called a shill by FNT fans recently.
Did you?
Yeah, so the Daily Bugle account?
I know
on Twitter. Yeah. The poster that's been going around about the Thunderbolts, everyone's talking about how the guy in the corner has 6 fingers. He doesn't, and I can prove it. And everyone was getting duped by an illusion created by one finger being off the camera and the other having like a bad shading job. And people thought I was defending the poster when all I said is you're getting bamboozled. You're getting bamboozled by an illusion. There's 5 fingers, and you can color them and see where there's 5 fingers. Yeah. Are you a shill for J. Jonah Jameson? Maybe just a little.
Great Pilgrim. No.
If I had to put Agatha All Along on part of this list, I would put it down here at bad, okay? But to sum up Dead Demons, Dead Destruction, and why I dropped it, first episode was incredibly middling. The premise is cool, and I've seen some stuff that actually does interest me in it. But I do not really care much for the art style, and wasn't terribly impressed with how they delivered on story elements in the first episode, and kind of killed the itch to watch the rest of that. So now we're moving into things that I actually did finish, and I have finished just about every single one of the rest of these on the list. I watch a lot of anime, if you can tell. Which, by the way, I did finish the first season of Tokyo Ghoul, Rolo.
Ooh, we can talk about that.
Yeah, let me get through this, and then I've been waiting for you to be on here so I can talk about my thoughts on that. I watched the first episode of Route A, and I haven't gone any further than that. So,
Okie dokie.
Pseudo Harem, cute, fluffy, really good if you want something that's just like a good vibe anime, very wholesome relationship sort of stuff, but characters are very one note. The story relies on the same gag the whole way through, and I felt like unattached to anything that was going on, because I was like, okay, but like I get that they have like this really like positive relationship, but you don't ever see them do anything that would give you the impression that like they're going to make it through everything, because there's never a huge like issue that they actually resolve in their relationship like you would see with Love is War. So that's why I say it's just okay about the halfway point through the season. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting tired of this. In the last couple of episodes, I did the unthinkable and I started skipping through it. Like, is this gonna go anywhere, or am I just gonna sit here and watch these people clown around the whole time? Quality Assurance in Another Life. This one surprised me with some really good twists, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of like the production delivery and the pacing has been a bit of a detriment to it. It got through what I thought was going to be the entire plot of the series, of them like dealing with a rogue group of players before the end of the season, which surprised me. So that means that there's more to this than just that, which is kind of a good thing if you ask me. It means it's probably going to carry on for a decent bit of time. Seems to truly been the resurgence of romance. Yeah, actually, there was a lot of good romance in this season. All in all, I do enjoy this one, but if I have to judge it on how much enjoyment I get out of it, it's just okay. It's something I'll watch when I have the time. It's one of the only ones I haven't finished yet. My dear friend Noko-tan suffers the same problem as Pseudo Harem. It's fucking hilarious for the first couple of episodes, and then it's the same gag over and over and over again. It's only slightly better because occasionally it will hit you with something really good in an episode. Otherwise, it's just like, oh, more deer jokes, Noko-tan's snot getting everywhere, antler stuff. Yeah. At first, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I would probably say it's like a 6 now. So, Unhinged Deer anime. Sorry, were you saying something, Rolo?
No, I said hashtag antler stuff.
Hashtag antler stuff. Now we get into a weird one. My wife has no emotion. About like a parrot. It's literally about a guy who marries a robot. Okay. And not like a super like human looking robot, like full on like metal, like you can tell it's a robot at a glance, and it has like a ceramic faceplate that makes it look human.
Some cyberpunk shit.
It's interesting, but I feel like it takes a kind of positive approach to the parasocial relationship issue, and that kind of makes me uncomfortable with it. Like, you have a dude falling in love with a robot and calling that thing his wife, and also calling the other robot assistant he has his child, pretty much. Yeah.
Huh.
And it's not like I generally have an opposition to weird stuff. As we get up the list here, there is some weird stuff. Okay.
Not like I have an
Oshinoko-
opposition to weird stuff.
No, like what I'm saying is like we're dealing with weird topics. Okay. Like, I love Berserk. It's one of my favorite manga. Okay, that has some uncomfortable topics to it. Alia-san has some uncomfortable moments with it because there's some like wincest moments in there that aren't actually like incest moments. The sister character is just trying to piss her brother off with that. Or Oshinoko, where when you get to the root of it, Ruby's obsession with her brother is a whole level of psychologically fucked that I can't get into in one sitting. But with this, I feel like it's taking way too much of a positive approach to it. Like this is a normal thing that should be acceptable. And it reminds me of that story of the guy who married the hologram of Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, that was a thing. That is still a thing. That guy's still married to Hatsune Miku.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just like,
What if that was
it's hard for me to. Sorry, what was that?
Just like, what if that was like your family member? You had to be like that's one of those where you don't go like, yeah, he's weird, but you love him anyway. It's just like, no, yeah, he's fucking weird.
I'll say this: if I had a friend who, instead of getting a girlfriend, just bought a sex doll, I'd be like, dude, you're fucked in the head. What is wrong with you?
Exactly.
So that pretty much sums up my feelings about this. It's an interesting show. As far as like, if it were just like, if you did a normal like kudere romance, like an actual human woman who just had a hard time expressing herself, it would actually be a pretty good show. But the fact that it's a robot makes it a little. Oshinoko manga is a bit off at times. Ruby's character is rough at the moment. I worry for her future due to the last chapter released. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It's like Ruby's fixation on her brother, on Aqua, is entirely an unhealthy thing, and it's generally treated that way by the manga. Like, she tries to gaslight Aqua into liking her back. She tries to manipulate him into doing that. And it's born of just so many awful circumstances that she's been through. Neglect from family members, loss of her second mother. Yeah, it's... Ruby deserved a better life than what she got. I will just say that. Like, and it's sad to see like Aqua and Ruby go on like completely different paths. Like Aqua starts off in the series like in the dark, and as things progress, he sort of comes out of that. Meanwhile, Ruby starts off like as happy as can be, and just everything keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Anyway, we're not talking about Oshinoko now. I'm trying to finish this list up so we can get into some of the new anime like Bleach and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we have Failure Frame, which objectively is a 3 out of 10 series. Like, it is so rushed and so forced at times. I don't know how people can sign off on this as like a good show.
My favorite anime. Never heard of it.
Yes, I know. But it's a decent revenge story. It's interesting. It's satisfying for the revenge element and no more. That's why it gets put in interesting. Otherwise, not worth watching. The characters, the animation, the world kind of sucks. Like every other male character is a fucking rapey scumbag. So, yeah. Oh, there's also a lesbian rapist in there too. There's that.
Gotta have one of those.
Yep. This is the only time I'll ever watch anything that is VTuber content. Well, aside from like It's a Gundam or there's actually like one other that I'll watch. But I've been watching them since before they started doing VTube stuff.
So I don't watch her, but whenever she's on Geeks and Gamers, Kirsha's funny as fuck.
Kirsha's cool too, yeah.
Yeah, she's funny.
But VTuber legend.
But
sorry.
Oh, you're good. I was just saying I'm not like subbed to any VTubers except for Gundam, but like there's a couple I find pretty funny. I'm like, yes, they got some wit.
So VTuber legend, very fucking funny premise. I mean, it's basically just like this chick who has like this pure like wholesome persona accidentally leaves her stream going, gets wasted, and starts screaming about gooning to other VTubers. And she goes viral for the absolute shift in her personality. It's hilarious. There's so many like innuendos and references in this series to like everything else. But it does sort of peter out towards the end. Because well, they kind of move into like the virtual concert stuff, and they kind of move away from like the funny haha that really makes the show shine. That's just me.
Haha.
Funny
Funny how?
well,
Like a
I think
clown?
it's very good. Funny how, like a clown? Yeah.
Funny how? Funny like a clown?
Goodfellas, huh?
Yeah.
I only somewhat recently watched that with my dad because my dad likes like westerns and like gangster movies.
I entirely forgot that was from Goodfellas. I just remember that quote.
Yeah. So I really loved this, but it's too short and not developed enough. Plus, the author is dead. So rip
Oh,
to ever like seeing the conclusion of this series.
that's wild.
I found that out on Twitter the other
You're
day. I'm like,
yeah,
fuck.
it's okay. It's kind of made. The author's fucking dead.
No, I actually really like this one. It was really good. It's like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing, but with a magic girl. Like the animation's really good. It's very like wholesome and easy to watch. But I mean, it's also where hold on, I have the clip. It's also where this comes from. If I can.
仕事だ。
Oh no, that's the wrong one.
You're muted. You're still muted. You're muted.
Am I still muted?
You're not anymore. Now you're good.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, was that from that show? What was that tall fucking whatever that was?
In the first one, the bird or whatever.
I suppose. Sure. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's the familiar of one of the magic girls in this series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's their like familiar form when they have like a human form that they can assume, but the author like apparently never drew them in that because it was more difficult. So either way, it's sad to know that the author died because I would have liked the continuation of the series to see how it ends. It's very enjoyable, but the episodes are only 11 minutes long. It's only 12 episodes long, and it doesn't particularly like get to the point, I guess you could say. It's a lot of just like them meeting and doing some like really wholesome stuff, and like you sort of learn that like this magical girl has the most unfortunate background of all time, and she's just like this really inexplicably nice person because of it. I was raised in an orphanage, and then the orphanage burned down, and then this abusive familiar decided he wanted to make me a magical girl, so now I'm a magical girl because the job needs to be done, and I want to make people happy.
Muffler tape. Those familiars are mega messed up.
Yeah. The main character's familiar is like the abusive husband archetype, like drinks all day, is constantly spending money. Yeah. Even threatens to whore the main character out at a couple times.
Word?
She's 15, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure she is. I didn't expect her to be above age.
Anyway, so now we move into the Elusive Samurai, which, to my understanding, is like a overly dramatic. Pilgrim. Pilgrim.
Fucking based. That's funny.
Oh God.
That's funny as shit. Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. We're meant to have fun on this stream. So the Elusive Samurai. I really like this. Please note that was said before you said the age. Hold on. Pilgrim, I'm calling in the SWAT team.
Now give them hell.
Oh man. Okay, so Elusive Samurai is like a manga rendition of like some actual historical events, to what I understand. Like it takes like the story of an actual historical period and turns it into like an overly dramatic manga. And now everything is over the top in this, so it kind of comes off as funny, and like very enjoyable. But it's got some like really fucked up stuff, like lots of blood and gore and all of that. And the premise is the main character is the heir to the shogunate, that's just been overthrown. And the only skill he has is that he's really good at running away from people. He can't fight. He's not very good at it, but he is an expert at not getting killed.
Knock LeVar.
So,
For all my Bleach fans out there, it's just Knock LeVar.
yeah. So he basically goes around recruiting other like warriors and stuff. And there's this like Shinto priest who can see the future that is like helping him out. And the dude's a total nutcase. Yeah. All around, really thought it was good, but it probably could have done better rather than some of like the CGI and real world shots that it used. Next on the list is Wistoria, Wand and Sword, or Sword and Wand, something like that. Sword and Sorcery, something like that. I always forget the exact specs of the detail of the title, but basically it is Black Clover meets Harry Potter meets Kaiju number 8.
Oh.
Yeah, so
I like Black Clover. I like Harry Potter.
Yeah. The main character is a swordsman who can't use magic. And he's trying to become what is like basically this world's version of the Wizard King. He wants to be a Magia Vander, which is like one of the 5 top wizards of the world. Okay.
Yes.
So he's going to school. He has to earn a bunch of credits to get into the tower, but he can't earn a large chunk of them because he's incapable of using magic, which means he has to do it entirely through book learning and through hunting monsters in the dungeons.
Sick.
But he has like superhuman physique and is super perceptive to the area around him. So like he can detect incoming attacks before they even like show up. It's very fun. I do like this, what they're building up to and what they established. There's still one episode out that I haven't watched. But like he sort of like earned the respect of some of like the top students in his school, and has made friends with one of the more hostile ones in later episodes. So he's making progress in earning everyone's respect, much the way Asta does. It doesn't feel terribly original, which is one of the downsides to it, but it's still a good show with good animation and fight scenes, very well paced, and good story and character development. So there's that. I Parry Everything was not one that I expected to like. It took me till episode like 7 or 8 to actually like really get into it. But once it got there, it was like just pure classic good-natured heroism. And basically the main character has no special skill except for the fact that he has ridiculous levels of strength and the ability to parry just about any attack that comes at him.
Sounds like my Dark Souls character.
Yeah, pretty much. And the entire premise is that like he wants to be a famous adventurer, but because he doesn't have any special skills, they don't let him ascend past like a D rank. So yeah. It
Even though he's God tier.
well, nobody knows he's God tier until he beats the shit out of a dragon the size of a city.
Oh?
Yeah, people don't realize how ridiculously overpowered the main character is up until that moment. And then from there, it's just ever increasing insanity. Like I parry an entire army.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's a little bit ridiculous and over the top at times, but if you're talking about just good, like heroic, like simple good and evil kind of stories, this is it. Like it does a really good job of that. And now we get into my favorite 5 anime of the season. And these ones I can't stress enough are absolutely worth watching. So No Longer Allowed in Another World is basically the story of this Japanese author who tries to commit like double unalive with his lover and fails and ends up getting isekai'd instead. So all he wants is just die. And
Didn't even kill himself correctly.
power that allows him to either like super boost his allies or unsummon other worlders like himself. So the whole story is basically him sending bad otherworlders back to their worlds. But before that, it's always amazing because this guy is like the most cynical, like jaded person of all time, like hates life and everything. But always has like the most on point life advice for everyone he encounters. So like one of the last episodes is basically like this pair of sisters who ended up they're other worlders. They get summoned. They ended up having like this huge falling out because one feels like the other stole their entire life from them because they were sick and all that. And
Yeah.
he goes through the whole thing like dissecting their story and talking about like and like breaking it down. And honestly, for as cynical as the guy is and some of like the things that are said, it turns out to be like really wholesome and like correcting certain problems, like people feeling like they just like don't have a place in the world, like they failed in their first life and all that. And he's just like, everyone's going to make mistakes and screw up, and like it's okay. You're not all that unusual. You don't need to blame yourself for all of this stuff. And then goes right back into, I want to kill myself, so I'm going to continue eating all these pills until I overdose. It's honestly like hit me in the feels a couple of times in 12 episodes. It's really great. The next up the list is Shoshimin, which if you like detective fiction, this might be up your alley because it turns like everyday mysteries and all that into like proper like full-on brain teasers. Like there's a whole episode dedicated to figuring out how some chuckle fuck managed to mix up or make cups of hot chocolate without dirtying anything other than a single spoon. So like they have this like whole like breakdown of like how he might have done it and all that. It's fun, it's very engaging, and it's basically two people who are way too smart for everyone else around them, trying to pretend like they're absolutely normal. And it does end on a bit of a sour note for me because they kind of decide to go their separate ways because they feel like that if they keep being around each other, they're going to keep getting into the like deeper and deeper trouble. Because no matter how hard they try, they always end up getting into stuff.
Does it count if he dirtied a mug?
Basically, the only things the guy used to like heat up milk and do all that stuff and like mix all of the hot chocolate evenly was 4 cups and a spoon, and there were 4 people that he was serving, so all the cups ended up getting used.
Microwave.
Well, that's the thing, is they're trying to figure out how he managed it. I'd have to go back and watch the episode, and yes, technically he did use the microwave, but that's not the mystery. It is, how did he do it with so few dishes is the big question of it.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, that one was fun. I liked it. Probably had one of my favorite intros of the season. Same with I Parry Everything, actually. I Parry Everything, VTuber Legends, Elusive, all of these actually had really good intros. Same with these. Although this one's probably the weakest, which we'll move on to next. Alya-san sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. A romance about a chick who constantly flirts with the guy who sits next to her in Russian, completely unaware of the fact that this dude plays CSGO and knows everything she's saying. And it's a little bit more than a romance, because it also kind of deals with some like not so nice home circumstances for like the main character and his sister. And they're like separated. So like the first episode, they introduce the sister as his childhood friend, and they even go by different last names. And you find out later that they're actually like twins, and that because of certain circumstances, the brother is no longer part of the family. But yeah, this one got really popular because it was for the Feet Bros. There was a scene in the very first episode where main character puts the chick's socks on and then gets kicked in the face because his hand slips. He touches something he shouldn't have. And then there was all of the discourse over the sister being an incestuous freak, when the reality is she's literally doing all that because she wants to piss her brother off, because she's
That's the one that you had the meme of, where it was like a voiceover that you showed me like a while ago on here.
That was Solo Leveling, the one with the KFC. You know, when I wanted your meat, that was the
where the one where the chick keeps trying to bang him and he's like, no.
Yeah, and then it turns into you can't use new mission acquired, sister leveling. That one, right?
Yes.
That's Solo Leveling.
Okay.
So, yeah, that one came out.
That was a good meme.
Wow. Yeah, winter. That was fun.
Now that is based.
Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I thought the characters were really well written. They were very intriguing to me. They did a lot of like in-depth explaining as to like the why and how everything is the way it is. So I was very invested in the characters. I ended up really liking them. Overall, do recommend. It's like a 9 out of 10 series. Oshinoko. I absolutely love this series. Although the latest chapter does make me worried about how it's going to end. But we'll see. Either way, I feel like we get a lot of like character work that was needed for Aqua. We get to see like just how much certain events in his life have affected him. We get to see the whole battle for his attention that's going on between Akane and Kana, because they both have a reason to really like be in love with him, and they're both struggling to try and get his attention. He's not really like terribly interested in it because he's dead set on revenge. I feel like the problem with this season was that it was kind of disjointed between the 3 things that it was doing, between Aqua trying to find out who his father is, between the play that's going down. It did somewhat feel a little bit disjointed, which is why I gave it only a 9 out of 10. It felt like it was a bunch of stuff crammed together. However, I still really love it. I still think it's done really well. And as far as outros go, this one's pretty good. Intro and outro, actually. And that brings us to what I would say is the only perfect anime out of the series. Too Many Losing Heroines, or Makeine. This one's just fucking funny. And the premise is this guy, the opening and ending are bangers. This guy, Nukamizu, he's just sort of a loner, who is content to like not really get involved with a bunch of other people, and he accidentally overhears this scene of the chick who's on the cover here getting rejected by her childhood friend in favor of an English chick who has some massive fucking jugs.
Based.
And that's kind of the theme of the whole series. Is there are 3 girls who like have their own like story arcs within this season that end up getting rejected, and sort of like the recovery process afterwards. And they're all very well written characters. Each one has they're all very unique. The artwork and the animation for it is like movie level. The soundtrack is great. And this is another one that has a really good opening and really good endings, because it has 3 different endings depending on which character's arc they're talking about. And just quickly, Lemon-chan supremacy, everyone. Okay, it is. And yes, I salute you, JM. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it.
Hail, JM.
This is the one that is the best of the season, in my opinion. Very well written. Love the characters all the way through. I know a lot of people said it wasn't technically a romance. It was more a comedy, but it focuses very heavily on like the romance aspect of it. And there's some somewhat, I wouldn't say it's like Love is War, because I mean, that's a good comparison. Like the comedy is at the forefront.
Focus on that.
Yeah, the comedy is at the forefront of Love is War, but the whole like premise of it is the relationship between the 2 main characters. This one is more so just like focusing on the characters and everything that happens to them after getting rejected by their crushes and all that. And I think it's kind of setting up Anna and Kazuhiko as a thing, but I feel like as far as like characters go, the ones I ended up liking the most were Kamari and Lemon. But yeah, that is summer anime. If I had to recommend 3 off of this list, I would pick if I had to recommend 3 off this list, just generically, Makeine, Oshinoko, and No Longer Allowed in Another World. Those aren't like strictly my top 3, but they are the ones that I feel like I would be the most comfortable saying, hey, you might enjoy this. These are actually pretty good. They're surprisingly good.
The other ones you can find on Hentai Haven. Those are the ones he didn't recommend.
Anyway, so we're through that, and before we move into like covering some of like the new stuff that'll be coming out here in just a bit, some of which has already actually debuted, like the Junji Ito stuff.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
I want to talk a little bit about Tokyo Ghoul.
Yes.
Because, like I said, I finished the first season, so just Tokyo Ghoul. And I'm on Re now, which it might be a little bit, or not Re, Route A. Which might be a little bit before I get through it. And I will say, in all honesty, Tokyo Ghoul wasn't really a hit for me until episode 12.
Is that the end of season 1?
Yes, that is the very end of season 1.
That episode slaps.
Dude, that episode fucked me up. I was like,
that episode slaps.
God.
Wait, is that the episode where Jason? Is that the episode where Jason does the like he starts fucking with his mind, where he's like making him pick between the boyfriend and the girlfriend and shit.
I think it might be or the episode before that. Either way, episode 12 is where Kaneki like finally accepts that he can't just be human anymore.
What, you didn't think wait, you didn't think it was good with like not Marude, fucking the other one, the crazy old man who's the
Maru?
hunter. Maru.
Yeah, no, that stuff that was good. It was good. But what really like sold me on it was episode 12. Like that absolutely hit home with me. I'm like, okay, yeah. I understand now why everyone loves this.
That episode's so good, dude. Because your flesh is disgusting. Oh. He taps his ear and knocks the freaking centipede out. Oh.
Yeah, dude, that whole thing with Algiri tree. Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Algiri's wild. Wait until more Rude, dude. Algiri's nuts.
yeah, I've watched the first episode of Rude. Right now, I have it listed at a 5, but that's just like my baseline for anything.
Yeah.
Like a 5 is like I have no strong opinions on it yet. But I will say though that it's disappointing to go from Unravel to whatever the heck that intro was.
Yeah, that intro sucks. That's why like Re has a good one. I always say intro 1 is the best, intro 3 is the second best, and then like 2 and 4 are mid. They're not even mid.
I would say that I want to try and catch up on Tokyo Ghoul like tomorrow, but I'm going to a concert tomorrow, so I won't have the time.
Hell yeah.
Maybe I'll try and do it by next week and just watch a couple of episodes because fuck ReZero comes out this week. Shit.
Oh,
Maybe not. We'll see. ReZero and Dandadan. A lot of stuff's going to be debuting this week, so I will try and fit it in.
yeah, Mafia Tape gets it.
Yeah.
Ken is such a good study on what it takes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like what I will say about like the first season of Tokyo Ghoul is I don't think episode 12 would have hit as hard if they didn't do such a good job setting everything up to that point.
Yeah. Also, dude, it's all the characters around Kaneki that are so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, tell me the bartender at the coffee shop's not the shit where he's like, I used to be the devil ape. Like, he's the best.
Maybe you'll understand why they call me that. Dude, look, I'm more interested in the old man's background, okay?
Koma, I forget what the girl with the black hair is called, the other one who works there. And then the big dude. Yeah, all of Anteiko is just they're all goated.
Yeah, Anteiko has a great cast of characters. What's the daughter's name? I forget her name.
Hinami.
Hinami, yeah. I really liked that element of the story, like
with her mom.
Yeah, it was brutal, to say the least. But I feel like it does sort of strike a good balance between like both sides have their good and evil to them. And sort of like showing that like getting a good I almost want to say like the Attack on Titan vibe to it, because neither side is really truly all right in the end. Like they both have their justification for what they do.
Well, that's why a lot of people go to Anteiko, because Anteiko takes from suicide victims mostly.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take from
they
don't kill. That's like
Anteiko is like the ideal solution. The ghouls basically stop killing and they just use people who are like the victims of suicide and all that.
Yep. Dude, the old man is the best. He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Toka is that girl though.
Like that girl, or
No, like she is like my OG like anime chick, dude. I freaking love her. She's the shit.
so like OG anime waifu, like first anime crush?
Facts. She's like
Honest-
Hinata with more balls.
Honestly, well, I'll wait to get deeper into the series, but Kaneki, you better fucking do something, okay?
I don't know what's happening right now in the first episode. I don't remember what happens in the first episode of season 2.
He says he's leaving Anteku for Algiri Tree.
Yeah.
And it basically just like she looks devastated when he tells her that.
Is that when he's walking away and she's running in the snow after him?
I think it's raining at the time. This is right after.
Yeah, that's what it is, right?
Yeah. And she like, and she's just like,
you have no idea how wild it gets.
I really don't. And I'm going to keep watching because season 1, like the very end of season 1 really sold me on it being a good show. So
what about Rize? How do you feel about Rize as a character? And all the
she's interesting.
The mental shit.
To make a comparison, I feel like in Muffler Tape will probably get these references. Echidna or Hitogami is a good comparison for her. Like she pretends to have his best interest in mind, but she's really just manipulating him to get what she wants.
Yeah, she wants him to become her.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Now, I do think there's some of the things like she said to him that were like absolutely like he needed to hear, like the stuff about like his kindness just being cowardly.
His mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of stuff like I felt that one. I really like felt sad hearing all that, but I'm like, in the end though, she's right. Like at some point you need to stop enabling everyone. Being a doormat doesn't mean you're kind.
Yeah. Exactly, Muffler. She is a lot more complicated as it goes forward.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I make the comparison to someone like Echidna from ReZero. And if you're unaware of some of the future events some of the events that are unfolding past Arc 4 and ReZero, well, let's just say Echidna plays some very vital roles in how everything is shaped, just how everything has turned out so far, especially with a certain fucking helmet wearing bastard. I'll say that.
There's so many characters you're about to meet.
Yeah,
Yo, Muffler, he's not ready for Noro, dude.
Either way, I will have to continue that at some point, but we will see if I get the chance to do it this week.
All right, who's your favorite character right now?
My favorite character? I feel ashamed for not remembering names, but who's the orange hair guy with the glasses? The one that tries to eat him at first?
Nishiki.
Yeah,
Nishki's
oh God, I'm still like a little bit of like bronchitis or something from being sick. Like
I do like Nishiki a lot too. He's like the John Kirstein of like this show.
So Nishiki and Toka actually are my two favorite characters so far.
Yeah, Toka's dope. He's a great character. He gets so much better. So, dude, everybody like keep in mind, everybody right now is like, except for like Algiri and Anteku. Everybody else, like all like that crew, they're really kind of just surviving. But once they get a foothold, and like you get the gang kind of established a little bit later, it's really it's something else. But Kaneki is the catalyst for a lot, especially by Ree. Well, now actually by Rude, he is the catalyst.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He literally went from like, yeah, muffler tape, war's coming, but he went from like bitch boy to like literally zero fucks given now. Like Kaneki is zero fucks given at the moment. Yeah, the one-eyed ghoul. He gets a couple other names. What's his first one?
Well,
Patch?
yeah.
Face? Eye Patch. His first one was Eye Patch, and then now they call him the one-eyed ghoul. And he gets another name. Wait, have you met Juzo yet?
Juzo?
Suzuya?
I'm not sure.
It's an inspector.
Oh, you talking about the dude who wields like the hammer?
No.
Or are you talking about the crazy one that takes the motorcycle?
The kid who takes the motorcycle.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, Juzo is he's a goat, dude. I'm not even gonna shit you. He's a goat.
He's a fucking psycho is what he is.
Well, he was a human that was raised by ghouls. What would you expect that to come out as?
Well, I didn't know that. Thanks for spoilers.
Oh, well, that's like coming up then. It's like
Okay.
right there. I thought they said that. They say that in season 1. That's like a throwaway line in season 1. They just don't show it. They're like,
I don't remember it in season 1.
because he's acting so freaking crazy, and you hear like one guy be like, "Yo, shut up." He was like raised by this shit. The inspectors. I really like the storyline that they do between inspectors and the ghouls. It's like you start to really like both sides.
Yeah, I actually liked the big dude who was like Maru's assistant or whatever.
Yeah, Amon.
Yeah, Amon. I actually did like him as a character.
You start to like a lot of these people, and then you're like, yeah, Amon is like legit one of the best characters in the show. He's goated.
Mm-hmm. I also will say, as far as it goes, I like the way they've like incorporated some like the powers and stuff, like the suits they use at the end of season 2 that they like the experimental suits that the inspectors use.
Oh, at the end of season 1.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Hey, Kapoki, how you doing?
Oh, Kapoki, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, the duality with Kaneki his duality with Kaneki is spectacular. It gets really good in this season. But yeah, those suits, they have like some crazy name.
I always forget it, but like the Queen K stuff, yeah,
that's fucked up how they make a Queen K.
Mm-hmm.
When Mato does it, and he's like, he does it, and he's like, "Can you hear your mom? It's her. She's caught." Like, dude, like that's
that was
that's wild.
Uh,
He's like, "You recognize her, don't you? Like, it's her. She's right here. Come give her a hug." Like,
yeah, and then Hinami fucks his shit up.
I thought Toka killed him.
Toka wouldn't have been able to do it if Hinami hadn't cut off his arm and leg.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, he basically gets caught off guard by the fact that Hinami has technically both Kagane of her parents.
Yep.
And he loses an arm and then a leg, and then Hinami refuses to kill the guy. So
Toka does it. Yep. Yeah,
So
Kaganes are a sick anime ability, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, wait till you see more. Wait till you see an S class, dude. Or a
Yeah,
triple S. I should say a triple S class, because isn't Jason S class?
I think so.
Yeah, there's like triple S class motherfuckers that roll up. And that's they're different breeds, dude.
Yeah, it's I have a feeling that this story is going to be brutal, and that's the kind of stuff I really like, is when it's not specifically just brutal, but you can kind of see where there's like a ray of hope that you might get a good ending out of it. Like it's going to be like a long and hard fight, but there might be something good at the very end.
Yeah, I mean there's a whole scene that I talked about before with you. That I again, I'm not spoiling it, but there's a scene in season 4 where I was legitimately like out loud, like, Kaneki, you better. I swear to God, you better right now, because I'm gonna lose my shit. If certain things happen right now, dude, I'm gonna lose it. Like, yeah, it gets. Yeah, that's another one. Muffler tape. That's another one.
I'm sure we can like go on and continue gushing on it, but I don't have enough knowledge of what's going to happen for the rest of the series. So I've said everything I wanted to say, and I have one more thing I do want to do tonight, and this hopefully won't take too terribly long. And it's kind of going to be going over some of fall's upcoming anime, which we all know some of them. I'm surprised by some of the entries on this list, honestly. But time to talk about what we're most excited for the fall here. So let me pull up show my anime list. I'm doing this on a different browser because I don't want to have to sign in on Chrome. And I don't need any videos or anything for this. So the list it has some things that I've been looking forward to. I know a lot of people are excited that this just debuted, Uzumaki. I'll probably check it out just because it's so popular, just see what it's like, but I've never really been interested in Junji Ito stuff.
I mean, neither have I, but it's Halloween and spooky anime.
Fair enough. I think that's a good point.
Well, it's gonna be Halloween.
Yeah. You know, I need to order some stuff for Halloween now that I'm thinking about it.
Me too.
The one I'm actually really looking forward to the most this whole year has been ReZero Season 3. I make it no secret that I am an absolutely massive fanboy for this series. And 16 episodes dedicated to Arc 5 alone is gonna be crazy. And I'm very excited to see how they're going to do this. From the reception of the first episode, which is apparently 90 minutes, because it covers the entirety of volume 16.
That's sick.
Everyone who's seen it so far has said really good things about it. I'm fairly happy to hear it, and I'm fairly happy with the trailers as well. Arc 5 is like the most action-packed arc in ReZero. It's basically like a Shibuya incident for this series. And then there's the potential of Arc 6, which I just finished myself reading. So that one was really good as well. Either way, this one I feel like is going to be a huge hit this season regardless, because ReZero fandom is very passionate.
See, I know as well that last year when it first dropped, Blue Lock was freaking insane. Everybody was talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not big on sports anime, so I probably won't even touch this one. I didn't watch the first season of Blue Lock.
Neither did I, and I'm not into sports anime, but literally everybody was.
Yeah, this one will probably be another huge hit this season.
Like, I had people that don't even watch anime being like, "Yo, you watching this show, dude? It's really good." I'm like,
Well, one of the things that helped catapult its popularity is it's based on something that Japan actually did.
Yeah.
And when people found that out, it became like a huge meme in the anime community, and that sort of catapulted it into the stratosphere. Blue Lock animation is very static from what I've seen. Yeah, same, but people still liked it nonetheless. And I'm not opposed to static animation. One of the ones that I said was the best of summer.
I didn't even watch the trailer for it, so I don't know.
Oh God, why am I blank? No Longer Allowed in Another World does not have very good fight scenes, but it's more so like the character development and all that happens, and it's.
I've only really seen like the Blue Lock intro.
I have seen nothing about Blue Lock other than like a few clips that people were passing around a ton.
I saw the intro because of Ivan, because he played it when he was doing.
Oh yeah, that's probably true. But Ivan kind of likes his sports. He also likes gay guys on ice. So,
yo, that show's on Hulu now. I literally almost watched it.
The most aggressive sports anime you have seen. You've seen a few, but that's it. Hi, Aoashi are basically it. Yeah, I genuinely can't do sports anime. I've tried, but like I have zero interest in sports.
I barely do sports in general. I watch the Eagles. Really, sometimes I more so pay attention to the score. But
okay,
like, if I'm not with a group of people, I'm not watching sports by myself.
This next one on the list, dude. I went to the theaters to see the first 3 episodes of this. It's fucking spectacular.
Wait, you watched it already?
It did a theatrical release for the first 3 episodes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Dude, the first 3 episodes are fucking great. Although I will say I can't watch it in English now that I've seen the Japanese version because I feel like the Japanese voice actors are so much better.
Wait, when does it come out?
October 4th.
Oh, this week?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. ReZero and Dandadan come out this week. Oh, man. I'm eating good. I'm saying that much. So, Spirit Chronicles Season 2. This one I see quite a bit of. Really looking forward to Dandadan. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's. Yeah, I'm excited. And the opening, honestly, as far as Dandadan goes, I did not like the opening at first, but the more I've listened to it, it's gotten stuck in my head now. And I'm just like, randomly, I'll just be like, I can't help it. It's such an earworm of a song, dude.
That's how they get you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing with the Chainsaw Man one. At first, I was like, eh. And then I was like, Chainsaw Man! like literally a week later, I was singing that shit, dude.
Chainsaw Blood, are you talking about Kickback? Because the intro, dude, that's groovy as fuck.
Yeah, but the first time I heard it, I was like, it's a little, I don't know. And then like, didn't take long. It literally took like my second watch through, which was like literally the same day. And I was like, yeah, I like this. I like this a lot.
Which, since we're just about into October, I do want to start planning like a good fiction talk on Chainsaw Man. So we'll have to get
I got my white shirt and black tie ready, dude.
So maybe we'll plan for sometime around Halloween to do the whole Chainsaw Man deep dive.
Fuck yeah.
But to move on with this list, Spirit Chronicles, it's another popular isekai somewhat. I've never touched it because it looks very generic to me. But as you can see by the number of people who are participating in the community, 110K, it's got a fair bit of following. It's no ReZero or Jobless Reincarnation, but I probably won't check it out. I refuse to touch anything Ari Fureta. That first season was, if you ask me, it was abysmally bad. Like one of the worst anime I've ever seen. Look up, if you ever get a chance, just look up like the final episode of this series and just watch that. And understand like that CGI is some of the worst you will ever see.
I don't know. The worst CGI I've ever seen is when the dragons you showed me, where the one literally dies and just flips over.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I've shown you some pretty bad CGI. haven't
Yeah,
I?
and I was gonna say that's the worst CGI I've ever seen.
See, the thing is, I was initially interested in this because, like, I liked the revenge aspect of it, and like the whole like romance going on between the main character and the vampire chick he's carrying around with him. I thought was very endearing. But then they started adding like a bunch of characters that I couldn't give a shit about, like the dragon chick, this fucking bunny, which I wish he honestly would have just shot in the head. I fucking hate her. She's annoying. Yeah, it got real bad real fast. So
Yeah.
we're probably not too terribly excited about Bleach, right?
No.
Nah.
I can't.
Yeah, I'm not even like a terribly big Bleach fan.
Wait, what the fuck? It comes out on October 5th?
Yeah, this week, dude.
Dude, for whatever reason, I've been waiting so long for this. I didn't even realize it was this week. Like, my brain was just like, October 5th. Yep, that's really far away.
Did you ever get a response on Twitter from that guy you were asking about his from that guy we talked?
I think he blocked me.
Of course.
Yeah, I think he blocked me.
Fucking little bitch boy. Of course he blocked you.
I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure he did though. I have to go back and look. I don't even remember his name.
Either way, like I'm not even a Bleach fan. And I've been really enjoying Blood War. From what I've heard, this is the very end, right?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
this is the last. This is the last of the last. Pokey, are the light novels better than the anime? I don't know what.
I think he's talking about Ari Ferretta because
I was gonna say I thought the Bleach light novels are fucking clean, but they're not. They're not the main line. They're like light novels about certain characters, and then there's a whole light novel about the first Kenpachi, which is really fucking good. Because Kenpachi Zaraki's like the seventh Kenpachi or some shit.
All right.
Dude,
I have never watched a single episode of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?
Neither have I.
But this poster makes me want to at least try it.
Yeah.
Like,
I've scrolled over that so many times. I've just been like, do I want to watch this right now? Oh, Muffler Tape. You got
bro, I gotta say, like, that poster does things to me, man. I'll just leave it at that, okay? This one I actually am really excited for, Shangri-La Frontier. Very fun anime last year. It was one of my favorites of 2023. Sorry, I dropped something. It is I don't think it's like terribly amazing for story, but like its characters are great, very fun to watch on screen. The world it has, very cool. There's some really cool things with like the game world mechanic. So if you ever get a chance or feel like watch Let Me Solo Her, the anime kind of stuff, this is actually a really good one.
Wait, what? Let Me Solo Her?
You've never heard of Let Me Solo Her?
No.
The Elden Ring player who has like over 1,000 Melania kills.
Oh.
Who can beat the boss without taking damage once.
My mind went a completely different direction.
Oh, you were thinking Let Me Solo Her in bed, huh?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Currently watching Shangri-La Frontier. Yeah. It's good. Sword Art Online I've never touched Sword Art Online.
I literally was watching the movie the other day because I didn't even know there was one, and I was like, oh, I need to feel like I'm fucking 13 again.
Yeah, I will eventually get around to Sword Art Online. I'm not going to knock it.
Craziest thing for Sword Art is that, once it gets to Gun Gale, it's like completely. It doesn't have the same vibes in Alfheim, and it definitely doesn't have the same vibes in Gun Gale. But OG Sword Art is a certain vibe that you're like, yeah, this is enjoyable, and then.
Well, the reason I need to get around to it is because this is the anime that spawned the 2012 isekai craze.
Exactly.
I know people technically don't consider it an isekai. Not even the author considers an isekai, but this spawned a lot of isekai series, and ultimately, it's kind of what led to the creation of some of my favorites, like ReZero, because they started right around that same time.
Yes, it did, and the thing with Kirito, which I find hilarious, and I didn't realize this until years later. Eren Yeager and Kirito are voiced by the same person.
In English or in Japanese?
In English.
Ah, so Bryce Papenbrook.
Dude,
that's also in Nosuke.
I know that, but it's so wild because Kirito is just like so chill. And every time Eren opens his mouth, he's like, "Kill them all! Fucking ah!" Like it's hilarious.
Freedom.
Yeah, dude, it's the funniest shit in the world. I've also heard a lot of anime voice actors in Adventure Time and regular show.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because I'm watching it and I'm like, holy fuck, that's Jiraiya.
Yeah, there doesn't look to be a whole lot of new ones that I'm going to be actually interested in. Like Blue Box. A lot of people talk about Blue Box, and I might check it out for the romance aspect of it because I do like me a good romance anime. But again, it's a sports anime that comes out this week. Wow, everything's starting this week, huh?
I would say, but I haven't watched Elysiation either. I should watch Elysiation.
I can't say I'm going to be watching Blue Exorcist because I haven't started the series, and this is another season. It's a continuation, so I would have to catch up. So unfortunately, I probably won't check that one out.
That's an oldie. Yeah, I probably won't watch it either, but...
Yeah, I know it's been around for some time now.
Look, everybody was telling me to watch Blue Exorcist when I was watching SAO, when I was 13.
Now, this one I have to watch because if I don't at least have it there on the list, I'm probably going to get crucified by the anime community. But I'm not looking forward to it because I do not like the Kid Goku stuff. It does not look...
I like OG Dragon Ball Kid Goku, and that's about it.
Yeah. I'm not terribly excited about Daima. But if you say anything is better than Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball fandom will fucking jump you. It happened to someone posting about ReZero a week and a half ago. All they said was ReZero season 3 is going to be anime of the year, and Dragon Ball fans jumped them saying, "So you think Dragon Ball Daima is going to be shit?" It's fucking wild.
You just need one response to all of them.
Yeah.
Yes. The answer is yes.
As a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the ranks.
I heard about that.
This is
but
season 2. I've never watched it. Probably won't be checking it out. Although I do hear some decent things about it.
Yeah, it's on Hulu now, so they're probably getting it trying to get it hyped up for season 2.
Maybe. You Are Miss Servant comedy. I don't know what this is, but it kind of seems interesting. So Hitoyoshi Yokoya is a high school student who currently lives alone. One day, an unfamiliar girl knocks on his door and offers to be his maid. She reveals that she is a former assassin, which makes him nervous. But when her skills save him from being run over by a truck, he ultimately disappears. However, the mysterious girl actually has no household skills. In fact, her only expertise is assassination. Okay, actually, I will be checking this out.
Yeah, I'll probably watch that.
This seems like it could be funny. Like,
also, if you're a high school guy who lives by himself and a hot chick shows up and says, "I'll be your maid," are you gonna say no? Probably not.
I wouldn't. If some
wouldn't.
chick offered to live with me, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah, I live by myself. My right hand is my roommate. Like, yeah, sure. Like
Roman's right hand is his wife.
He's gonna pop back in chat right now and be like, "Hey, I heard that."
So it says October 4th, but this one's actually already out on the sites I use. Loner Life in Another World, so I probably will check this out. It's an isekai. At least it looks like a somewhat interesting isekai about a guy who really does not want to be isekai. So
yeah, but look at dude. How come every guy that gets isekai in a lot of these is like surrounded by women, and he's like, "I'm good."
That's that's the genre, dude. That is the genre.
Apparently.
I
guess I wouldn't write a good isekai.
I mean, I'm writing an isekai too, but you don't have to include a harem in it.
No, you don't have to.
Like, technically, I think
that's facts, Kapoki. They almost all look the same.
True.
That guy right there who's running from all those chicks looks the same as like every other freaking isekai motherfucker, dude. Look, yo, that's Eminence in Shadow right there.
I actually like the Eminence in Shadow, to be honest.
So do I.
But yeah, I get your point. It's all it's all like the same thing when it comes to these generic, like low end isekai stories. I'm still gonna check it out because I was thinking the same thing of stuff like No Longer Allowed in Another World, and then I was really surprised by how well it did character writing.
All right, I can agree with Muffler Tape there. That's Kirito syndrome because Kirito goes around just helping people in season 1, and all of these chicks want to bang him, and they're just mad that he ends up with Asuna.
Yeah, I mean,
ReZero
technically has a bit of a harem, but Subaru is literally fixated on only one chick, and like his relationships with everyone else tend to end up being like pretty healthy. Like with Beatrice, it's like father-daughter pretty much.
I mean,
same with like Meili, Petra. It's kind of like a little sister sort of thing. Rem.
There is a difference with Kirito than others because he's like technically he's married with a kid, but like it all happened within SAO. Like, so, and the way that the chicks like he's not interested in anybody at first, and then the one chick he falls for is Asuna because she's just as good as him at the game, and there's like a big group of homies, like they're all friends.
So yeah, just to quickly comment on this, from what I'm told, Arc 7 and 8 have some real wild stuff with Rem. So
no, hold on, Muffler Tape. Let me finish. So it's like they have a big group of friends. There's just more chicks in the group than there is dudes at that point. But the other dudes are like just chill. Like they're like Eggio's the man. It's just like this big black dude who plays the game. He's just the homie. But they've been living in this game forever. I guess the reason I liked it so much is because I was playing the shit out of Skyrim at the time that I was watching this. And being stuck in Skyrim, oh, dude, I just modded the hell out of my Skyrim. It looks brand new. Fantastic. It looks like a new game. It's so good.
You'll be playing 2B with a big ass now?
No. but it's
See, the only mods I put on Skyrim were Fenindrix Magic and the enhanced skill trees.
dude, I have like 101 mods downloaded right now, and it's all just realism mods. Like I downloaded freaking make tree bark look good texture pack, make grass wave in the wind texture pack. Like I did all that shit. I went through an entire list. Game looks phenomenal. And I'm just gonna play it vanilla other than that. Like no story mods, nothing like that. Just NPC mods and shit. But at the time of me watching it, I was like, dude, if I was stuck in Skyrim for years on end, I'd probably meet a chick and like, yeah, fuck it. We think we're gonna be stuck here for the rest of our lives. Might as well marry and have a like. That's the point they did it for. They were like, if we marry in this game, then we get to share each other's loot and shit. That's why they originally did it.
Anyway,
but
I would like to move on from Sword Art Online because there's
just making a point.
Yeah, okay. This one looks like it could be interesting. 365 days to the wedding. As far as I understand, basically the premise is these two characters are faking like they're engaged so that they don't have to get transferred out of the country.
Wait, isn't there a movie about that with like Vince Vaughn and shit?
That does sound like something that would be a movie.
Isn't it like Vince Vaughn and like Sandra Bullock or something? They hate each other.
I don't know. I don't watch like 40-year-old wine mom rom-coms, okay?
No, this is old. This is like from the early 2000s. Oh, yeah, muffler tape. I get that. Yeah, the kid was a mental break. Kid's an AI.
This is the season 2 of a series that I haven't watched, so I probably won't check that out. Although I do kind of like detective stuff, so maybe at some point I'll look into it. I don't like the villainess story stuff. I've become the villainess who goes down. Yeah, fuck that. Probably not going to watch it. I know everyone was talking about like some of these that were really good a couple seasons ago, and I'm just like, I fucking hate the trope. It always ends up being really boring, like shoujo sort of. Yeah, shoujo. Ranma and a half. I may check this out, but I feel like I should watch the original first, and I may just watch this just as like just to like fill out the list. Yakuza Fiance, another romance labeled seinen. I will probably check this out too.
Oh, if it's labeled seinen, that's a possibility.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that because I have some other interest in plot. Okay.
Yeah, I only know.
There's 7 seasons of this series. I did not realize there were that many seasons.
See,
I know OG Ranma is kind of spicy. I've seen people talk about it.
I don't know anything about it. I just know of it and know that it's popular.
Basically, it's this sort of like shonen romance story about a guy who swaps genders whenever he gets splashed with water.
Oh, that's the... Okay.
Yeah. So Demon Lord 20...
We lost them, boys.
My interest, like cyberpunk kind of stuff. Is there really nothing? It doesn't have a action, fantasy, sci-fi. Okay.
Yeah, Kapoki, I agree. The art style does not seem like it.
Tying the knot with an Amagami sister. This looks like, yeah, a harem shonen. Not generally my thing. There are very few of those that I actually check out, and usually they are parodies, like 100 Girlfriends.
Yeah, I think the most based harem that I've ever seen is Uzui from Demon Slayer and his 3 wives. They're based. Cause he's like, I didn't do it for I hate to use this word, but I didn't do it for misogynistic reasons, like the culture of our tribe. Like, and he actually loves all 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately, and for different reasons. Base harem.
I mean, technically in ReZero there are 2 harems, but one belongs to the Archbishop of Greed. So, yeah, fuck Regulus. By the way, fuck that fucker.
Actually, no. The most based harem is Quan Chi's harem in Chainsaw Man. That's the
Anyway.
most based.
Do-Over Damsel conquers the Dragon Emperor. That seems like one that I'll probably at least give a couple of episodes to see if it's worth my time, but it's shoujo. This one, oh boy, this one caused a fucking tism on the internet. So you probably don't understand what this title means because it's not written in English.
I fucking love the way you say tism. Every time you say it, you're like, a tism on the internet.
Yeah, the English title is My Wife Became an Elementary School Student.
Oh shit, I know, yeah. Fucking
Dude,
I heard all about it, dude. I saw it on my timeline too.
Dude, it was such a wild fucking situation. So I don't even need to explain. Like, I'm going to check it out just because. It seems like something that's honestly genuinely wholesome.
There an arc where he becomes a substitute teacher? There has to be, right?
Oh God, don't no, please
There has
no.
to be. There has to be, right? There has to be an arc where he's the sub.
Where he's the sub?
You know what I mean?
I got domed by an elementary school student. Oh God, Ronnie's gonna come find that clip.
I don't even know.
Gonna...
I don't even know how to quantify this. What category is this?
Apparently comedy and romance. That's what category it is. Rurouni Kenshin, Kyoto Disturbance. I did not like the second core of the remake here, and I probably will not watch this because I just it didn't do it for me. It's not a terrible show.
I just watched the OG Rurouni Kenshin.
I need to probably watch the OG Rurouni Kenshin. Might be a better experience.
Rurouni Kenshin is. I watched that before I knew what anime was. Like, this cartoon's really good. I'm like at my cousin's house and it's 12 a.m. and they're showing it on like Adult Swim, and I'm like, this is interesting. I like this. Sword fights. Yeah.
You know who else likes Rurouni Kenshin?
That's true. He does. He likes the movies, though. He likes the live action. I don't know if you watched the
he likes the anime, actually. He's talked about the anime quite a bit, yeah.
The live
I don't
action.
know if you like... Ivan is the one who likes the live action movies.
The live action is... I've only seen the fight scenes from the live action, but it looks like...
Yeah. I'm guessing this is...
Drums just got blown out.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So why?
This one looks like okay, so Party Kara Sono Chiushi. So I'm guessing this is the healer gets exiled from his party, but he's actually the strongest or some shit like that. Again, probably like a generic like meh story that I'll check out just to sort of see what's good about it, to see if it's worth my time. Maybe get surprised by it. After School Hanako, Part 2.
Word.
I don't know if I think I watched part of that at one point. Goodbye Dragon Life. So it's an isekai. Long ago, a human managed to defeat the oldest, most powerful dragon of them all. The dragon was so strong that even the gods feared it, but it accepted its end all alone. Then suddenly the dragon woke up in a new life as a guy named Dolan living in a faraway village.
Oh my god, it's Rings of Power. He's Sauron. He's Halbrand.
One might say
He's
it's
Halbrand.
precious.
He really.
I
wants
will
to-
watch Demon Lord Retry R solely for the fact that I absolutely hate this anime, and it is the single worst one I have ever watched. It is fucking awful.
Really? The worst anime you've ever watched is what I'm saying, really, too.
Yes. I mean, do you want to watch a dude in a fucking tuxedo kill a giant CGI poop monster with kunai?
No, not really.
And then some twink fucking wizard talking about getting railed by the main character?
Twink.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring my brother into this.
Yeah. Oh, your brother catching fucking strays, dude. What the fuck?
He fucking deserves it. Although he did buy me Monster Hunter Iceborne, like the whole like deluxe thing for Steam for my birthday, so I should be nice to him. I have no idea what this is. So 15th century Poland. So it's about femboys. A time when heretic ideals led those who possess such a mindset to be burned at the stake for their beliefs. For fall, a child prodigy is expected to major in theology at the university. Most important subject at the time, however, he meets a mysterious man and begins researching a potential truth amid heretical ideas. Could be interesting. Oh, it's by Madhouse too.
No, wait. You know why, right? You know why they're being burned at the stake. And ideals. They're gay. After you said femboys in Poland, that's
okay, I get it now. Sorry, I'm slow.
Get it, right? Like, I'm not even joking. Like, was that what that means? Because
no, I think it's going to be something about like they discover that like the church is lying and that God's not real or something like that. That's probably what they're going for. Or they could do something like magic and all of that, but it looks like they're trying to set it in like a real world historical setting. So it's probably something like heliocentrism or whatever.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it was a real world historical setting, they used to freaking burn like homosexuals at the stake. That was just what they would do back then. That was a thing.
Yeah.
Fucking
probably
horrible, but it was a thing.
I probably will never watch Seven Deadly Sins.
I probably will never watch it again, dude, after that Escanor fight that didn't happen.
Motherfucking Ghost season 2.
Oh my god, is that Kobeni's car, the movie? I'll watch that shit in theaters, dude.
Kobeni's car.
That would be the best fucking Chainsaw Man spinoff ever.
Just a series about it would last one episode, wouldn't it?
No, it's just everything else happening except for like her car's just there. But like it's from the perspective as if you're just sitting in the car. It could be really good. It could be like the coffee table movie that Chris Gore couldn't stop talking about.
So the most notorious talker runs the world's greatest guild. Interesting premise. I'll probably check it out. But I don't have a whole lot of hope for it. This one I have not heard of. What is this? Has a rough start to life, stealing to survive, eventually being sold into slavery by her own brother. But to her surprise, her captor sounds like shoujo. Oh, it's josei. Okay, so it's even worse than shoujo.
Fucking muffler tape. I got a response to that.
You have not seen.
You have not seen what I have seen. There is a tempest in me. You know what, muffler tape? The sea is always right.
Capital soaked in blood as political upheaval and rising tension. between masterless wandering Ronin and government samurai. So this is another historical thing, like the elusive samurai crosses paths with two men who will become central figures, Ichikata Toshizo and Okita Soji, two of the founding members of the group of hated Ronin known as Miburo, or who would later become known as the Shinsen Gumi. Inspired by the efforts of the so-called Blue Wolves of Mibu. Okay, so basically it's just a story about Ronin. That could be cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Oh, what is this? Let this grieving soul retire. The golden age of treasure hunters has dawned for the golden age has dawned for treasure hunters who raid treasure vaults all over the world in search of glory, despite the dangers, immeasurable wealth, fame, and power, all in one place. You just have to. Oh, sorry, wrong series. Await those who prevail. Let's be treasure hunters. This promise between Cry, Andre, and his friends came to a sad conclusion when young Cry realized he didn't have a treasure hunting bone in his body. Yet, for some reason, people's expectations of Cry continued to grow, as did the danger to his life. While his friends became greater, greedier beasts, Cry mastered the art of begging and pleading. Witness the weal and woe of a man who just wants to retire. Honestly, that sounds like something I don't want to watch.
Yeah, he sounds like a.
Sounds like fucking Takamichi Hanagaki.
He mastered the art of being a bitch.
Yeah. Why would I? That seems like a fucking waste of my time.
It's really even sad if that's a self-insert. It's like, I'm so good at being wimpy.
So here's an original. Long ago, alien life forms came to Earth, fusing with people on the planet. Due to their appearance, they were dubbed Mecha-Ude. As when fused, they bore a striking resemblance to mechanized limbs. Oh, that sounds like a cool premise. Through an involuntary partnership, average middle schooler Hikaru Amatsuga works alongside the Mecha-Ude Arma, who is an extremely rare and special existence. To protect Arma, the resistance group's arms assigns the dual Mecha-Ude user to follow him wherever he goes. Okay, so...
Yeah, Muffler Tape spitting facts.
I hate Tokyo Revengers due to Taki. Yeah, Tokyo Revengers... If I'm being legit, I hate Tokyo Revengers more than Demon Lord Retry. I'll just... I hate that, and Rent a Girlfriend.
Such a bitch, dude.
Dude, you did I ever tell you what the ending to that series was?
You did, but please remind me.
Basically, Takamichi imagines himself being stronger and magically gets stronger, develops the ability to see the future, tries to save Mikey, but gets stabbed and gives Mikey the ability to travel back in time, and then they could both travel back in time, and they decide to conquer all of Tokyo together and then retire.
Does he end up with Hina?
He does.
Okay.
But the issue is they completely break the entire rule of the series. Like about how the power transfers and how it works and all that. Like, how are Takamichi and Mikey able to time travel together?
Yeah, that makes zero sense.
It basically pulled a Dragon Ball and broke all of like the consequence, and yeah, I don't want to think. I have 2 videos on my channel about why I fucking hate that series. Yeah, they're ancient videos, so they're probably not as good as my newer ones, but hey. Yeah, all the stakes and sacrifice gone. Exactly. If they would have ended it before the final arc, it would have been a good ending. Okay.
Tell you one thing though about that show. They still got a GOAT character. Like Draken is still a great character, but he's in a shit show.
Oh yeah, they kill him in the final arc.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah,
They tried to kill him like 3 times in the first 2 seasons.
he literally gets shot and dies in front of Takamichi, protecting Takamichi, even though he knows Takamichi has like the time travel ability or whatever.
And Takamichi doesn't go back and stop that from happening?
Well, to be fair, I don't think that's not really how it works, but either way, it was such a dumb thing to like kill Draken and then bring him back.
Draken is like a really well written character in such a shit show. Like how is that possible? I seriously don't understand that. It's like, yeah, most good shows have a really shit character, but it's like, how do you have such a well written character in such a bad show?
Draken was legit the only character. Yes, Kapoki. Literally every character, they go back and they turn every single character into a good guy, even Kisaki.
Oh,
yes, they go back in time together and they make every character a good guy, and they all attend Takamichi's wedding.
But they also can't.
By the way, throughout the entire series, no, they do save Draken. They kill him and then they bring him back.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And throughout all of this, by the way, Takamichi only ever had one timeline where he wasn't a movie store clerk, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
There was only one timeline where he actually became something in life. It's I don't know. Okay, so back to this. To like try and get through some of this. I don't know if I should try this next one. How I attended an all guys mixer. Basically,
you said it, not me, buddy.
Yeah. It's basically there's 3 dressing chicks is what I understand it to be.
Why would there be an all guys mixer? That's not what a mixer is.
Well, like I said, they're cross-dressing chicks.
Yeah, but
they're women who are pretending to be guys.
Yeah, but a mixer is for men and women.
Well, technically it still is. They just wanted to dress up like guys for some reason. Reverse traps?
Muffler tape.
Muffler, is that your kink?
They are reverse traps.
That's a season 3. I'm not going to check that. Kabushiki Gaisha, Magia Lumiere. So basically, this is a story about a chick who works at a IT support company for Magic Girls. I will probably check that out, even though I'm not terribly fond of like Magic Girl stuff. So basically, she works at the company that makes all the equipment for Magical Girls. Seems like an interesting thing. Studio Nut.
Studio Nut.
Adult cast. Oh, it's a fishing show? Definitely won't be fucking watching that.
Oh, it's about fishing, though? I like fishing. Watch it be fire.
So this is something like a human teacher at Ghoul School or whatever. Rookie teacher Haruaki Abe is as cowardly as they come. It's hard enough for him to handle human students without whimpering. And now he's going to be teaching a school full of monsters.
Why the fuck would he become a teacher then?
I don't know. What is this? Oh, Mahjong. Yeah, I'm not even going to read that. I'm not interested in something about Mahjong. Just, yeah, no. Is this... That's Shoujo.
What is Trillion?
That's Josei. Seinen Trillion game. A charismatic communicator beloved by all, regardless of age or gender. He may come across as easygoing, but beneath the facade lies an unwavering ambition for success. When he's offered a prestigious position at the nation's largest IT company, he does the unexpected, turning it down in favor of embarking on an entrepreneurial journey alongside his friend. The audacious objective to amass a staggering $1 trillion.
The animation looks cool. Looks old school.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a early 2000s sort of thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why I said, what is that? Just because I like that animation style.
Well, it's by Madhouse, which is the studio that did Freerin, so that's potential to be interesting.
I'll watch a trailer for it. See how I feel.
Yep. Stories of girls who couldn't be magicians. What? This looks like shoujo. I don't know. Some of these don't even have, like, I don't want to read through all of these descriptions.
Oh, dude, Hamadashi Creative? You're not going to watch that?
Looks like a fucking pop idol shoujo. Okay, it doesn't say it. It's a visual novel. Yeah, fuck that. Tennis? Tennis? You want to watch a tennis anime?
Watch that be the most goated anime of the season. It'll be the new Blue Lock.
Lockdown Zone Level X. Based on a web novel. Okay, this one's Idols. Don't really care. Once you get down here, I start judging them by like the cover. Like, that looks like golf. This does not look like something I want to watch. This does not look like something I want to watch. Like half of these look like the throwaway bin from most of the.
Goku's right there. What do you mean? In the middle, he's right there.
It says educational. I don't want to fuck with that.
I'm kidding. It just looks like Goku.
Yeah. Is there anything
We don't
else?
want to fuck with educational shit here on the show.
Yeah. So ONA. Oh yeah, the shitty fucking Netflix Gundam anime that they're making.
Beastars, dude.
I'm not a furry.
Yeah, exactly. Has a great intro though. Dude, I only know it because of Ivan.
Yeah. Lots of Chinese stuff here that I'm not gonna watch. Attack on Titan: The Last Attack.
That's in the
Not gonna
movies.
watch it. Yep.
So
I'm just
trying to get my mom to finish Attack on Titan before that comes out in theaters. So because I think it'd be cool if we went and saw the final in the theaters.
So yeah, I think okay. So as we got further down the list, there actually was a decent bit of stuff that I was interested in checking out.
Indeed.
But I don't know. It looks like a lot of it is going to be like meh. There might be a few like surprisingly good ones in there. But oh boy. There are some things that I don't think deserve a season 2 in here.
Oh,
so
yeah. There was a lot of things I don't think deserved a season 1 in here.
Of all the things in here, what are you looking most forward to, and what one that you didn't expect caught your eye the most?
Well, you know what my number 1 is, but
yeah,
that's easy. Number 2 would be Dawn to Dawn. And then I guess ahead of that, like, good question. Actually, great question. What would I want? Like, there's a couple in there that I was interested in.
I think as far as my like the ones I'm really looking forward to,
I have to see
ReZero season 3. Obviously, I shouldn't need to say that. Dawn to Dawn, Bleach, Shangri-La Frontier. Those are the ones that I'm really looking forward to this season. As far as ones that I think I might really end up enjoying, I think the You Are Miss Servant, the assassin one. It's probably
I'd watch that.
And then
That definitely caught my eye out of nowhere.
trying to think. Goodbye Dragon Life, maybe. I might end up enjoying that. And then the one about like the Ronin, that might actually be something that I think is going to be interesting. And yeah,
There was definitely another one that like
the Trillion game, the one that we were saying looked like a
Trillion game. I want to watch the trailer for. That's for sure. I feel like there was something else that I was looking at. I was like, oh shit, that could be really good.
How I Attended an All Guys Mixer. I know you're into that.
Shut the fuck up.
The motherfucking ghost, Kobeni's car.
Yeah, Kobeni's Car, the movie. I want to watch the hell out of that. Kobeni's Car, the movie is gonna slap, dude. I don't know.
Cyberpunk Demon Lord. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's returning that I'm going to be watching this season.
Yes.
And there are a few new ones that I actually like looking forward to. Like the whole assassin thing looks like it could be like a really enjoyable series. That one I might get my hopes up a little bit on. Otherwise, like I have zero expectations for Dragon Ball Daima. I am really excited for a lot of stuff that's closer to the top here. But yeah, I think that's about it for what I wanted to cover tonight. So anything else you want to bring up?
I'm just really hyped for what's coming out this week, honestly.
Yeah, Bleach starts again, huh?
Not even just Bleach, but
Yeah.
exactly.
But that said, I think it's probably a good time to wrap because it actually has been going for 2 hours, over 2 hours.
Whoa!
Yeah. Which is somewhat long for my streams. I usually only go for like an hour and a half. So I think that's a good place to wrap it up. So for me, I actually started going live over on Twitch, which is probably where I'll do most of the gaming stuff when my PC arrives. You can find me at Crimson Law 4110 over there. Twitter at Crimson Lawson. My main channel at Crimson Law. And then, of course, I would love it if anyone who is listening to this would subscribe to my live channel here. Because I will be posting clips and stuff from the live streams that I do from now on, specifically here. And I'm just going to keep the essay stuff over on my main channel. Rolo, where can they find you?
You can find me at the Rolo Romecast on the RG Energy channel. Episode 99 is on Wednesday. And then that's
episode 100 is coming up really soon, huh?
Yeah, in 2 weeks. And
everyone's favorite clown, Ronald McDonald, is making something for you, huh?
Yeah, Ronnie's cooking something up apparently. So yeah, I mean that's coming.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. Yeah, we're gonna be going for a while on episode 100. Probably be streaming for quite some time.
Link to Rolo. Let me pull up RG Energy's channel where you can find him.
Yeah, you can find the show that I do on there with him. I'm working like if you want to follow Rolo Films, you can hit me up on like Instagram. I'm working on an edit right now. I do a lot of like anime edits and stuff like that on the Rolo Films channel. but that's on Instagram. Yeah, it's Rolo_films on Instagram, and then other than that, like Rolo Lord on Twitter. If you want to follow me there.
Copy this. Paste that. Hopefully that works. That would be the link to. I think RG Energy showed up at one point in here. But I've streamed with him a couple of times. He's been to both of the Good Fiction segments that we've done about Naruto and Batman. So he's cool. Rolo does his show over there weekly. They talk about like other pop culture stuff, and they talk about their gay relationship and all that.
Hey, shut the fuck up. Now, if you want to see me, get really into Lord of the Rings lore, that's what I'm going over right now for the most part. I am completely just like Rings of Power is Rings of Power is something.
One other thing I do have to actually shill really quick. Because Monday I'm actually going to be streaming with someone new. I'm going to pull up his channel here. He's trying to get to 500 subscribers. And I know him through the Gronk Squad Lethal Lightning group. He's one of the mods over there. We're going to be doing some anime talk on Monday at 7. Biggles Mets. We're going to be talking about.
Oh, nice.
It just pasted. Sorry. It just pasted the same thing over and over again. Fuck you.
As well.
There we go.
You can also watch, like, if you want to listen to the Rolo Romcast, you can also find us on like Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, Twitch, Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it's even on Kick too. Like it's everywhere. So yeah, but on Rumble we also do a show called Monday Night Mayhem, which is coming back, and that's a Rumble exclusive because we can get into like that's where we talk about like ghost shit, fucking conspiracies. Like you want to talk about like Egypt and the Third Reich making like a pact. Like it's I don't even know. It's just Skinwalkers.
Roman talking about Helen Keller flying a plane.
Yeah, like it's the Monday Night Mayhem is fun.
Anyway, this Monday, I will be at 7:00. I'll be talking with Biggles about I Parry Everything. So that's where you can find. That's where I will be doing my next thing. Otherwise, go to my main channel, find my recent video on my thoughts on Frieren. I would appreciate people checking that out. Otherwise, did you get everything out that you wanted to talk about, Rolo?
Yeah.
All right.
That's
and I guess it's time to play us out. And just so you know what you're getting into when it comes to the Rolo Romecast.
Organized chaos, buddy.
Yeah, we're going to where is it? We're gonna play us out on a high note.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, if you don't have a penis, don't hit on me.